hey, we want to know. Lost in your eyes, Paris night skies, both hypnotized. Find a way, find your way. Spend the night with you in Paris, Lord. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paris, Lord. In a heartbeat, you were gone. Like ships in the night, love at first sight, holding you tight. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, so unfair, you left me there. Choose the 9:35 from Paris, left with just her aroma from my standstill adventure. Now I'm stuck in a world of regret. And it's 9:35. I'm not happy, but I feel alive. So much I wanted to say, but now it's too late. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, Lord. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paris, Lord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and I hope you guys have had a good start to your weekend and that your week went really well as well. So now, before starting tonight's live stream, I had a bit of a disaster. It was probably about 10:15 when I was getting my laptop ready. I actually had to check that it had enough battery. Thankfully it does, but I was getting no sound out of my laptop whatsoever. I mean, and this wasn't even setting things up for the live stream, just using it normally, just looking at YouTube, no sound is coming out. So yeah, I've just been trying to sort that out for the last 45 minutes, but I think it's working, so therefore we are still, I think, organised to have the fill jam if we do indeed hit the target for the lights goal tonight. And the other thing was, the red dude on my camera just wasn't appearing tonight for whatever reason. So when we try to zoom out a little bit later on, that could be interesting to see if he actually turns up or not. So anyway, hello to you guys in the live chat room, and let me give you guys a shout out in there. We have Joe, Angela, Rose, Bob, Cindy, Laurie, Corey, Ro, And Elaine's going through that as well. Angela PM112, Emperor of Wyoming, and Teresa, Bob, Diamond Girl 1234, and it's gone through the top of the screen. So hello to everybody in there. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday night as it is here in the UK. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. And you guys know who you are. They are the foundation of everything that I do, as I always say throughout the live streams. So yeah, big shout out to these people for making this live stream possible and everything that I do. Not only on the channel, but everything that I just do, full stop. And including authentic vocal and all the other stuff that I get involved with. So yes, their names will continue going that way throughout the live stream. Now let's get the likes goal up on screen. Tonight we are aiming for 340. So if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. And if we do hit that target of 340 likes, then we will have Phil Jam number 304. And my laptop has gone to sleep now, so there's no quick way of me checking that. But yeah, I'm going to assume that I did change that earlier. Because I was trying to sort my laptop out, it's all gone into a bit of a blur as to what I have done, what I have set up, and what I didn't manage to set up because I didn't have time. So yeah, if you could hit the thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And we will get the like comment up on screen, but of course that will disappear if I need to navigate anywhere else, because this is in the stream settings still. So we are at 199, so almost at 200, which means it's quite easy for me to work out. We need 141. No, yeah, 141. I said it's easy to work out, and then I double guessed or second guessed myself. So there you go, that's 140 now. So that's very easy to work out. So yeah, if you could hit the thumbs up, it's been a good start up to 200. And yeah, we'll keep an eye on that throughout the live stream. And if we do hit that goal, then we will have a Phil Jam. So the only other thing that we get up on screen is the donations tab, because that's there to let you know that you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So yeah, for those people that do donate, the donations are very much appreciated, but they're not a necessity or essential or anything like that. It's just for those people that can't resist donating. I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. So, I can just see going through the live chat room. Mo says, "Can I download your cover of Hotel California by the Eagles, please?" Thank you for that. Now, this is the problem. Well, first of all, on YouTube, my Hotel California video was initially blocked actually for quite a long time when I first released it, which was a bit of a shame, because I had made it for Patreon, for my patrons over there, just the monthly video that was requested, and people wanted to hear Hotel California, so I did that particular cover, and then it got blocked, which was a pain. But then maybe a couple of years after, it then got reviewed manually, and then they allowed the cover to be on YouTube, and this is why I can play it on the live streams without the live streams getting removed. So in terms of it being on YouTube and for people to watch it and be linked to it, and that's all fine. So over on Patreon, the Hotel California cover is over there, and that will link to the YouTube video. So yeah, that's all fine. But like putting it on a CD or anything like that, that's something that I can't do, because then that becomes illegal, because it means people will be listening to it, and Eagles and Don Henley isn't making any money, which he has to make money on it because it's I know it's something that goes around the internet about Don Henley and Eagles and people doing songs that are getting blocked and then not allowed to sample their songs or use it on any shows or anything like that. But in my particular case, yeah, it was allowed to kind of go out eventually. But yeah, other than the YouTube video, I can't distribute it or anything like that. And I know that there are other channels and other musicians who do put stuff on CDs and maybe even potentially sell those CDs. If you are going to do that, you need to have an agreement with the copyright owner of the song. And I was going to make a cover CD, and it was such a long process, and I went through a third-party company to try and help me to get in touch with, because I haven't got everybody's phone numbers, so I got a third-party company to try to make contact with the copyright owners of the songs. But of course, it was nigh on impossible to get in touch with 10 different copyright owners to say, look, I'm going to do a CD. What can we agree percentage-wise if you want to, have the agreement in place and have a contract and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it just unfortunately didn't happen because it was impossible to get any. I didn't get in contact with anybody. So for these people that are releasing CDs and they've got cover songs on there, if they don't have an agreement with the copyright owner to then sell a CD, then yeah, that's not allowed. That's not legal. So yeah, it's something I don't want to get involved with all of that. I want to make sure that if at any point anybody started investigating me or investigating my channel for whatever reason, everything is absolutely above board and everything stacks up. Every law has been followed. And even with the analysis videos and everything that I do on there, it's all totally objective and can be cross-referenced, and nothing that I'm saying is untrue, and I'm displaying the facts that prove what I'm saying. So yeah, I just want to keep everything above board, and this is why I don't have a covers CD, and it's just because it's kind of impossible to organise, and I don't want to fall foul of any laws. And I mean, I do feel like there are some very large channels on YouTube who I know have released CDs, and there's another way that people go about it, which is up for debate, and it's probably something that lawyers would look into, and I don't, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know a lot about the ins and the outs of the law other than copyright and things that I know I'm covered by with my publishing rights and everything that I own for my music. But what tends to be the case now is that people do a cover of a song and they go through a third-party company who registers their cover as effectively an original work. They create a content ID for it so that now the person who's done the cover and the third-party company now share the revenue. But again, that is illegal because the owner of the song, the copyright owner, has to get a cut of that. So yeah, there are a few companies that are doing stuff that I think, well, is that entirely legal? What's going on there? The only time that I was in contact with somebody investigating this who was a lawyer, they couldn't find any proof anywhere that the copyright owners were getting any money outside of this agreement between the third-party company and the YouTuber, whoever it might have been. So I know that there are lots of very big channels that do this, and even, like I've said before, filming yourself busking. And you might be playing 10, 15 songs, and the people watching the busking, they're listening to the songs, and they're not your songs, they're owned by other people. So because it's busking and there's generally going to be ambient noise there, it means that Content ID cannot flag those songs because it doesn't recognize them, because it's not like a produced version of the song, and then even sometimes it doesn't spot it even when that happens. So it means that somebody can have 10 to 15 songs in their video, and all of those writers should be getting ad revenue from that video, But if you scroll down, if you don't see the songs listed in the description of the video, that means that somebody's getting ad revenue for that, and more often than not it's going to be the YouTube creator, who might have video that goes on for half an hour, 45 minutes of busking, and it might get millions and millions of views, and they're getting all the ad revenue for that particular video, when in fact by the law it means that the copyright owners of those songs should be making the money, and they decide how much money the content creator, YouTuber, how much they are entitled to. Because sometimes they say, oh, we'll share the revenue with you, or sometimes they say, we're going to take all the revenue. And I'd say that one's what happens most of the time. You just get a copyright claim on your video and they take all of the ad revenue for your video. But yeah, I've seen lots of busking style videos that I think if they were investigated, they would fall short of the law, copyright wise. So yeah, it's all interesting stuff, but that's something that I'm not really involved with. I don't do kind of impromptu performances of other people's songs, and the covers that I have done have all been claimed by the copyright owners, or the publishing company that owns them. So like I said, I just do everything above board, keep it simple. And then if I had a video that had millions and millions of views, and it was me playing somebody else's songs, or maybe 10 or 15 of other people's songs, and then they decided that they wanted to pursue it, then they would potentially now have to be paid the amount of ad revenue that's come to me if I did do that. Not that I do, but if I had received ad revenue for somebody else's songs or multiple songs, then that would then have to be paid back to them potentially if they wanted to pursue it. But anyway, let's get back to tonight's live stream, and that was just an impromptu thing that I saw in the live chat room. We are going to just jump into the super chat window because Elaine has donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is great hair tonight, so thank you for that. And let me get back to here. Okay, back to the lycometer, and yeah, the hair is definitely getting longer. So the fringe is starting. Oh, look at this little bit of fringe here. The fringe would be very long, but this bit is kind of getting my eyes a bit, but curling. It is curling away from my eyes, so it's okay. But yeah, I have to see how long the fringe gets, but before then I say to the hairdresser to cut it. I don't know I don't know how long you have to let it get. Anyway, I'm sure I'll know when it's there. We will jump into the PayPal window as well. I think I saw a message from someone. Oh, it's Melody Rock said, would you ever consider doing an instrumental guitar CD with original work? So thank you for that. And maybe, potentially. The only thing about recording and making albums is the amount of time it takes. I would have to have time away from what I'm doing in order to do that, which means you need to still be still be making the same amount of money that you normally do to pay your bills and to pay your rent and to put food in your mouth and drink water. So all of those things you would still have to pay for. If you're taking time off, as long-time viewers will know, if you miss just one video or one live stream on YouTube without trying to do other things such as shorts videos to try and make up for it, then the algorithm will just kind of put you off to the side and start not notifying your subscribers about videos that you're doing. So yeah, it means everything will drop off, and the through flow to other sites, such as my website and CD orders and all that stuff, that then dries up, and then you're not making the money that you normally would do. And yes, so if you think about kind of taking any kind of time off, there would have to be that fund that would see you through that amount of time, and so that you can still do what you want to do and still pay your bills. So it's still, I guess it's like everyone, you're always living kind of month to month to month. You're never thinking, oh, I can take 8 months off to work on this album that I'm going to, or that that I'm going to be doing, or that I want to be doing. But I mean, everything at the moment with me is fine. I don't feel like, oh, I really don't like what I'm doing and I want to go and do, an instrumental album, for example. It's not something that, I kind of have the drive to do. And if I was like a multi-millionaire, then maybe I would do even just a millionaire, not even a multi. But if you had the funds, then you could decide what you wanted to do. But like everyone on the planet, I think you just kind of do what you do, and you just have to make sure that you do as much as you can in order to keep things going and to keep paying your bills, and that's pretty much it. So I mean, one thing that I certainly wouldn't do if I had like £1 million, I wouldn't buy a big house. I'd think, right, I'm going to plan this out and see how many years £1 million would get me for rent and food and bills and everything. Hopefully it'll be quite a long time, so then you can work things around that. I always see it as a bit of a mistake when people get like £1 million and then they buy a house and then they realise, oh, the house is so big I now can't pay the bills and I got no money left because I spent it all on the house. So I think it's always good just to live within your means and just get what you need to get, and then if you just have that and don't live too lavishly, then you should be able to do what you want to do every day. And this is kind of the whole point of myself being able to do this full time, and analysing videos and the cover videos that I did years ago on Patreon, and selling my own music. Just being able to do that was my goal. So I think when you get to that point of just being able to do what you want to do, then it's just maintaining that. And that's very much what I'm always aiming at, but also have been helped out hugely by these people at the bottom of the screen who, like I said at the beginning of this live stream, they're the foundation of everything that I do. So these people at the bottom of the screen make it all happen, because on Patreon that is something that is guaranteed, that these people have said, yes, we will support you, and that is guaranteed from 1 month to the next month. So I'm indebted to the people that support me over on Patreon. And if you want to get involved yourselves, then you can do. The site is patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus if you want to check it out. And obviously that support over there also has helped me to do a bit of authentic vocal and start that up. The only thing about authentic vocal is that I'm going to have to spend a bit of time this year figuring out the best way to move forward with it, because obviously it's a huge project. Even though I've said it's a side project, it is a huge project when you think about kind of getting it out into the world and getting enough exposure for it, and working with bands or artists or management or events, all of this stuff. It'll take a lot of organising, but also it'll take some funding. So it's I'll have to think about that in the future, how I do that, because at the moment what I'm doing on YouTube with Wings of Pegasus, that's all fine, but it won't cover kind of all the stuff that I'd need to do with authentic vocal. But as long as authentic vocal was set up and it's now kind of ready to go, and the trademark that I've got, the registered trademark, the logo, that's all safe and done, so it's ready to kind of push forward with it when I can spend a bit more time on it, but also when everything's figured out for the right route to go down. So anyway, it just keeps me very busy. Right, now I'm going to jump over into the PayPal window because we had a donation from John, and John donated £5, so thank you for that, John. And Bryony donated £5, thank you for that. And the message was, just going to scroll down. Hi Phil, just to say I'm in awe of every analysis video you make, no matter whom the artist. Each one is unique and I'm learning all the time. You're certainly no one-trick pony. So thank you for that. And I think technically the last analysis video was last night, which was Morrissey. But the analysis video that we had before that was the Super Bowl alternate performance event thing, whatever that was. I don't really know. I was just asked to look at the video or look at the performance, and when I did look at the performance, of course then YouTube starts suggesting other videos, and this happens all the time when I make analysis videos, is that I'll be doing the analysis video. Obviously I've got to watch the video on YouTube, and then I'll get these other suggestions, and all that was suggested were shorts videos and other people's kind of long form videos, news reports that were all saying about lip syncing, or miming as we call it here in the UK. And when I was looking at the video, I couldn't believe that everyone was jumping on this bandwagon of the lip syncing or the miming, and I was watching the video thinking, have I got the wrong performance? Is this the one that they're talking about? I wasn't sure. So anyway, I watched some of those videos, and of course they were looking at the performance that I then analysed. So yeah, everyone, I don't know. Everyone just jumped on this bandwagon, which was false, and for me it was. And now I think Kid Rock made a video where he's actually demonstrating what they did live, where he was singing and then the DJ was doing the other line. And as I said in my analysis video, not that I had seen that video at the time, that was done afterwards, but with that explanation video, you can hear how similar the DJ's voice is to Kid Rock's voice. So when they're going back and forth, that's what it is. And that's what I said in my analysis. That's what I thought was going on. Obviously, it's good to have an analysis video and then the artist actually comes out and demonstrates exactly what I was saying about what I thought the video, the performance was all about, were those two vocals. And when you isolate vocals, you can definitely hear those two voices overlapping. But yeah, it's weird how everything was for whatever reason, I don't know, pushed a particular way. Everyone jumped on that bandwagon. But what gets me is magazines like Rolling Stone magazine and news organizations doing it on their YouTube channel, and I even saw an interview on the news with Kid Rock, and the presenter was very much kind of pushing that lip syncing or miming agenda. But yeah, it's crazy nowadays that you can be part of a national news organization, or even something like Rolling Stone magazine. You can be in kind of one of the most popular publications ever in a music sense, and you still have got someone who's not checking, or what, I don't know what they're doing. Obviously they're just writing a story because they've seen something and they thought, oh, that looks like he's lip syncing or miming, and then they've decided just to do a story about it. They haven't thought, shall we check? Shall we just double check? Shall we ask someone who might know what they're talking about just to double check before we do a national article claiming that, or accusing an artist of doing something that they weren't doing? So it's funny because it's usually the other way around, that I do videos where I'm maybe pointing out that it wasn't live and it might have been pre-recorded, or the vocals aren't quite what they seem. But here I'm doing it the other way around, which is a bit weird, that everyone has thought for some reason that it's not a live performance or live vocal. But from what I gather in the comments section, I think it might be, well, it probably is, politically motivated, because you've got this event that was an alternative event, and then you had the other main event, which was the Super Bowl, and they obviously had different performances there as well. And by the way, you'll have to look out for tomorrow night's video, because as well as, the Kid Rock one, I did say it when I made that video that I was doing an impromptu video because I'd seen it, and I'd seen how much the internet was exploding with incorrect facts. And if there's one thing that I don't like, it's incorrect facts. So I thought, well, I've got to make this video to point out that the whole internet is wrong, the whole world is wrong with what they're saying, just to get it out there, because I think the amount of news organisations that were jumping on the bandwagon, I've got to at least do something. And maybe people, and a lot of people have watched my video, which is great, but then maybe it will become more common knowledge that actually all of the news organisations that are reporting on this have got it wrong. So yeah, I had to do that quite quickly. But the other performance that I've been asked to take a look at was the national anthem performance. And yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow night. So you'll have to look out for that. That is Charlie Puth, who's doing that particular performance. And I've seen videos on YouTube of people comparing it to the Whitney Houston anthem, which is interesting because, again, I don't think it's well known that that performance was lip-synced, that it wasn't her actually singing. It was pre-recorded in the studio and then she pretended to sing. And the amount of people that are comparing that performance, and yeah, we're going to get into it tomorrow night to find out exactly what was going on with that performance, but comparing it to another performance that was not a performance, it was recorded in the studio, yeah, it's very weird. And yeah, I think I will refer to that in tomorrow night's video. But just going back to that Whitney Houston national anthem, I think from memory it was maybe 3 times that my video got blocked. So my video just wasn't allowed to be released, but then finally I did manage to release it, and yeah, that was the resulting video. I had to write on it that it had been blocked and we couldn't actually listen to anything, and then the video footage was getting blocked as well. So I think for whatever reason, I think I know what the reason is, that they didn't want my video to go out there just showing that it was a lip sync vocal, because so many people think that Whitney Houston performance was real, but it wasn't. So this is when it's funny when people say, this particular performance, was it as good as Whitney Houston's one? But you think, well, yeah, that one's live, so you can't compare it to the Whitney version because she did that in the studio. You have to, if you are going to compare performances, you have to compare one that's been recorded in the studio to then the Whitney Houston one. So yeah, anyway, as you guys know, that analysis video is on the channel for people to check out, and I might link to it tomorrow so people maybe understand things. But anyway, thank you for that, Bryony, that donation, and Tammy has donated £15 as well, so thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, which guitar in your collection has the best story behind it? Happy Valentine's Day, rock. So thank you for that. Which guitar has the best story? I don't know. I think, well, the Maton, which is there, and the gem that they were sent to me by Mario quite a while back now. Long time viewers will remember Mario. And then, I guess this Fender Strat was quite cool, the Performer series, because that was Fender that gave that to me, and did this kind of white and black design that I asked for. So that was cool. And behind me here we have the Mugabe, and that was sent to me as well. And Mugabe actually sent me their acoustic version of that, which actually came out first. So yeah, I've got a couple of those guitars. So the interesting, and there's actually another one kind of out of shot here, which is my Ibanez Geo, which I've used for many gigs over the years. And then my other Fender Strat, that's one that I got when I was maybe 18 or 19, something like that. But I think, getting a guitar from Fender is pretty cool in the first place. That's quite a good story, because I would never imagined that would have happened when I was maybe 18, getting my first Fender Strat, to think that they'd actually kind of give me a guitar in the future is cool. And yeah, this is where I am the most rubbish, I don't know, endorsed person ever. Because yeah, when I was at Fender, they said, let us know what you need, and anything that you want to have, just let us know. But I was so chuffed with just getting a guitar, and they actually gave me an amp as well, the Mustang, the LT25 that's out of shop now. But yeah, I was just chuffed with that. So, and they gave me kind of leads and picks and other things. But yeah, in terms of any other gear, I think it would probably make things look a little bit too busy here. But yeah, I was just absolutely fine with a guitar and an amp. That's great. So yeah, the other guitars that I've been sent, I mean, it's amazing to again the Geo, which is here, like over here, that you can't see. That's the only one that I purchased with my own money, which is crazy. That again, if I'd thought back when I was 18, saving up to, first of all, buy a guitar, then saving up to buy an amplifier, and the amplifier, especially I spent ages saving up for that. Just doing what I could with teaching guitar and putting away whatever's possible. So yeah, saving up for effects as well. Like I used to have the Line 6 Pod XT Live, and I used to use that, and then I'd get another, I can't remember what model it was, but then I got a Boss foot pedal, which was just it had lots of really good ideas of things on it, but it just didn't work particularly well for the live setting. So then I moved to the Line 6 Spider 3 HD 150, but again, I spent a long time saving up for all that stuff. So going back to those days, to then, if I was to say to myself in the future, you will be sent, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 guitars in the future for free. I'd say that they're crazy. But yeah, it's happened, and I'm very thankful for every single guitar that I have, that not only I've been able to kind of save up for and buy, but also for people and companies sending things to me. I very much do appreciate that. But now I don't do sponsored videos anymore, just because my schedule is so jam-packed. Making a video for another company, it means that you've got to kind of film lots of different angles and put lots of stuff into the video that I don't normally do. It's not the same workflow as making an analysis video, because that analysis workflow, even though it takes a long time for each one, maybe between 6 and 12 hours, getting that process down, it means I can just go through it as I normally do. And it's like a well-oiled machine, meaning that I can do those 3 videos every week and still do a couple of live streams. But then as soon as you start getting into a sponsored video, I'm now doing stuff that I don't normally have to do, like filming different angles and then trying to get it right, trying to get the lighting, set up lights, holding the guitar underneath the lights, zooming in, taking pictures. And that those videos can take 12 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours. It can be a multiple day thing that you're doing. And even though you are getting paid for it, in my case with the guitars, like the guitar was the payment for doing the particular video. So you've got the guitar, but now you're spending maybe 2 or 3 days making the video, and you think, well, hang on, this is now impacting on my bread and butter of the videos that I normally do. So I don't make sponsored videos anymore. And I think if I did do sponsored videos, then I'd be doing a sponsored video every video, and it would certainly take the emphasis off analysis videos, because I'd all of a sudden be randomly talking about a product that's got nothing to do with music or analysing music. And I know that there are a lot of channels that do that, suddenly cut off to talk about something random, whereas I don't want to do that in my videos. So anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. Karen's donated £5. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, I've noticed you use hand gestures to describe notes and or applications, i.e. Lifting hand up for sharp, down for flat, and the auto-tune flip. As a musician, do these gestures come to you by instinct, visually, and or something else? I'm glad to be back. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And I think when I'm talking, even in these live streams like this, I haven't rehearsed hand gestures. I don't think anybody really rehearses what their hands are doing when they're talking. So yeah, if I'm demonstrating things or singing things, whatever my hands do are totally on instinct. Haven't rehearsed moving my hands around. I think probably when singing, it's something that people tend to do, that you have this link between I guess in your head how you see where notes are, so that if you're talking about an auto-tune flip, that if it kind of goes up, I'll probably do that with my hand, saying that it's going from one point to the next and then stopping. So yeah, but it's just something to, I don't know, indicate what's going on just with a gesture. And yeah, I probably, if I'm talking about maybe a run that comes down and hits pitches accurately, I'd probably kind of do this. But that's very much relating it to the graph that we see, the A440 standard pitch equal temperament graph, where they are lines, so that if you have a really accurate vocal that comes down, it's going to be picking off those lines as you go down. Obviously not on the lines perfectly, because we all know what that would suggest, but yeah, probably going up. I might do it the other way, who knows. It's not something that I'm thinking about, but thank you for that, Karen. And Dawn has donated £3.51, so thank you for that, Dawn. And the message is, happy Valentine's Day, Phil. Thanks for all you do. So thank you for that. And Karen's donated £5.23. Again, thank you for that. And the message is, I've read articles about needing mechanical sync and or performance licenses in order to record cover songs and music videos of covers. If you don't mind me asking, is having any of these licenses applicable to what you do? What's the importance of these licenses? Thanks, Phil. So thank you for that. Right, so I'm not going to be able to get into all of this in the live stream, and it's almost 10 to midnight. So by the way, we do have a vote at the top of the live chat room, and that's between Hotel California, which has 50% of the vote at the moment, and More Than Words. So whichever one of those songs you want to hear, then yeah, you can have your say at the top of the live chat room. You can vote for either of those, and like I said, the Hotel California one is okay, so don't worry about having to vote for that. But yeah, back to this. So with everything that's applicable to me and what I do, I have all of my cover videos on YouTube, and all of those cover videos are then covered by the agreement that YouTube has with the copyright owners of each song that I'm performing. So it means that more often than not, and when I gave those examples before of what happens to a video when it's copyright claimed, more often than not, the video is copyright claimed via the content ID, and the owner or the publishing company that owns the copyright, they take all of the ad revenue. And that's what happens. So the deal is, I get to have the cover video on my channel, and they get all of the ad revenue for my cover of their song. And generally how it's always worked is that cover videos are, and just playing covers, are used as a way to get people to watch your performance and maybe spend a bit of time on your channel because they know that song. So it's something that they can relate to, therefore there's a reason for them watching what's going on. If you were just to perform your original material, nobody knows that song, so it means that people probably won't pass it around and you won't get a lot of traffic from it. But this is the same thing, it's been going on since the birth of music, and popular songs and charts and radio airplay, is that bands did covers of other bands or artists' songs. Back to the Beatles. Everyone does the same thing. So they started out playing covers, and then gradually, song by song, started introducing maybe one, maybe two, maybe three songs into their set that they did of covers. Back in those days, it wasn't policed as much as it is online, so it means that they could be going and performing night after night after night songs that everybody knew, and there wasn't somebody copyright claiming all of their performances, because you'd have to actually be there to know which songs they're playing and listening to the songs that they're playing. So yes, for what I do, everything is covered by the agreement that YouTube has with the copyright owners, because if you upload a cover video, especially if you're uploading the video and you say what song it is, and I do that with all of my cover videos, so then it gets copyright ID claimed, even though it's not something that would instantly make that happen, because it's my version of the song. Therefore the original recording, the content ID of that, isn't applicable to my song, because this is a new version of the song. So what happens is the content ID for the original song, that still exists. So if anybody uses that or wants to use it in a film or a movie or anything like that, and they might want to get a mechanical license for it to use it, then they can do. But in my case, what happens is they now apply a content ID of theirs to my song. So it means that when my cover of their song gets played anywhere, they then get the royalties for that. So if a radio station decided that they wanted to play a cover that I've done, the copyright owner will get the money for that, because they own the content ID of it. Like I've already said in tonight's live stream, that I don't create my own content ID for it, because that's effectively saying it's an original work, which it isn't. And I know a lot of people do that and say, oh, this is, so when you see it on YouTube, it's listed as, like, for example, More Than Words by Wings of Pegasus. It's not by Wings of Pegasus. I didn't write that song, so that's why I don't do that. I don't claim it as an original work. I allow the publishing company to claim it, so that then if it is played anywhere else, they get the money for it. Because I think that's how it should work. But I mean, going back to the point that I just want to keep everything really simple, so it means that everything is covered, and it's all under YouTube's agreements with copyright owners. And once you start distributing the music outside of YouTube, or doing something that then isn't covered by that, or maybe even with a third-party company, that's where it starts to get a little bit sketchy as to whether what you're doing is legal or not. But let me just skip this advert that's coming through. And by the way, I can see we are at 350 likes, so thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. That means we are going to be busting out the Strat, which is plugged in tonight, and we'll have a jam at the end of tonight's live stream. Let me just quickly jump into the super chat window, because Paul is in there with a $5 donation, and Paul says, howdy all y'all, let's have fun tonight, peace, love and rock. So thank you for that, Paul. And then Arnie has donated £5. Thank you for that. The message is, did you ever get the assistant you mentioned once upon a time? So thank you for that. And yes, I did, and I have, but there's so much to do. Like, the assistant is in charge of one of my email inboxes, and I have at least 3 other inboxes. So I still have to get through a lot of stuff myself. But I mean, at least the help that I am getting does stop it from really overflowing and me kind of drowning and then unable to continue. So yes, I do have help, but it's such a lot to be getting on with. And I think for a lot of what I do, it's really difficult, really difficult, because what I do is so specific to my knowledge and my skill set and the things that I know about. So when people are emailing through questions about particular performances, and maybe somebody wants me to quickly listen to something, that it's not something that an assistant can do, that they can determine whether it's auto-tuned or pitch corrected or whether it's lip-synced or mimed. It's something that I've been doing for so long that, yeah, it's very difficult for somebody else to kind of come in and do anything like that. And exactly the same with recording my videos and editing my videos, because with the editing, I know exactly what I want to include in a video and what I need to include from a legal perspective. And I know that, yeah, some people or trolls have said, oh, what you on about from a legal perspective, is because my videos are watched by lots and lots of people, including the people who I'm making the video on. So more often than not, they don't want the video that I'm making to be on YouTube. So if there was any particular part of the video that is debatable, or I haven't proven what I'm saying, then they would remove my video straight away. So when it comes to editing, I know exactly what I need to include in order for the video to, yeah, stand up to that kind of scrutiny. But if I offload that to somebody else and they do the editing for me, it's going to be an even longer process, because I'd have to say to them, oh no, what about this bit that you haven't put in? You've cut that out. And when I am recording my analysis videos, generally just the footage will go on for maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, and then out of that amount I try to get it down to maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, so that I've got all of the information in that I want, and I've cut out about 20 or 25 minutes worth of other footage and me talking about lots of other things. So yeah, the editing is something that, again, I think only I can do that, because I know what to include and what I want to include. And the other thing is, I get emails all the time about people wanting to do me thumbnails. And I do the thumbnails myself, because I've always just had like a still from me in the video on the left hand side, and then the image of what it relates to on the right hand side, and then just a title, and maybe some images from the video, such as the pitch monitoring software or a still of the performance, because it's relevant to my video. So yeah, the people that want to do thumbnails, they say, oh, can I do you a thumbnail for free, and then you can let me know what you think. And to one person I said, oh yeah, that yeah, okay, if you want to. And they did me a thumbnail where it's like, me on the screen, and I don't know what it was, like maybe on stage with the band or something. Really, I mean, it's one of those thumbnails that is absolute clickbait, because it's nothing to do with my video. It's like, I wasn't on stage with those band members, so why would you put that? I know why people would do it, because they think, oh wow, he's on stage with eagles, for example, not the animals, like the band, and or the birds, which are another band. But that, for me, I think there's kind of a limit as to, well, I know that isn't anything to do with my video. And I have seen thumbnails like this where it's an AI thumbnail of them talking to the famous person that they're talking about in the video. But in the video, they didn't meet the famous person. They're not talking to them. They're just making their own video, like me sitting here talking about a famous person. So it'd be like me talking about, Tom Cruise, and then in the thumbnail, it's me and Tom Cruise shaking hands and me saying that it's an interview with him, whereas it's not. So anyway, yeah, long story short, I do everything myself on the videos and the thumbnails, and yeah, there is that point where I think, well, yeah, where does it end, where you're making thumbnails that, yeah, and there are some channels that I know get millions and millions of views and subscribers, and their thumbnails are nothing to do with their videos, and that's kind of how they get all of the attention. But yeah, I think I'd rather have less subscribers that are full of professional musicians and producers and bands and artists themselves, rather than having millions of subscribers that are all kind of I don't know, pulled in via clickbait. I think it's the kind of quality of the audience starts to maybe get a bit diluted when you start crossing that line, and then you might lose subscribers as well, because you'll say, well, hang on, what's gone on with this channel? It's totally changed. But anyway, yeah, moving on. Karen's donated $10 as well. So the message is lip syncing. Have you gotten a request to check out Mariah Carey versus Andrea Bocelli at the Olympics? It's cut off the end of the message. Let me just try and get rid of this. Okay, it looked like she was miming, and Andrea was singing live. Thanks for all you do for us. So yeah, thank you for that. The reason I was chuckling there is because I was thinking of Andrea and saying different ways of saying the name. But Bocelli, I think I always refer to Bocelli just as Bocelli because everyone knows. But yeah, Mariah Carey versus Andrea Bocelli. I haven't seen that. Is it a recent thing, or maybe not? Or was it? If it's the Olympics, is it the Winter Olympics? Like, is it something recent like that? I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I have analysed Mariah Carey on the channel before, and yeah, usually there's a lot going on. So all I can do is say in the past that there's a lot been going on with Mariah Carey's live performances. So yeah, I'd have to see it to be able to comment on it. But thank you for that, Karen. And Granite Man 62 has donated $5. So thank you for that. The message is, Phil, I feel that autotune since 1990 has created what I call fake pop stars. Does that say onwards? It does say onwards. So yeah, thank you for that. And well, certainly it's meant that people can now hit notes a lot more accurately with a lot less work. And the Lane's donated $2. Says TikTok time. Oh yes, indeed, we are at midnight here. So let me get back to the stream settings so we can see. By the way, if you're watching this on catch up, every single thumbs up still really does help this channel to grow and for the live streams to get out there a little bit more. Talking about the channel growing, this is what is interesting, and I'm hoping that because a lot of people checked out that video on the Super Bowl in Kid Rock, I'm hoping that the algorithm maybe gets a little bit reset, because since the 1st of Feb we've been on 519,000 subscribers, and I believe we're still on 519,000. So it's now 15 days. And this is following me. You might have remembered 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I mentioned Authentic Vocal and asked people to subscribe over there because we were trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Anyway, yeah, that's the problem. So as soon as I mention anything like that about Authentic Vocal, everything stops. So I'd say roughly for probably the duration of my time since doing analysis videos, we might get 1,000 subscribers every week. Might be a little bit less than that, but you guys will know with the live streams how it kind of regularly goes up. But as soon as I mention Authentic Vocal, everything stops. And I think what happens is that YouTube, and this is I'm only going on the evidence of what people are telling me, is that they are subscribing and then they check the next day and they're unsubscribed. So it's almost like there's a wall that gets put up and you're not allowed to get past that now, because we don't want people finding out about that other channel, which is not in the best interests of the major labels that we have agreements with on YouTube. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. We'll see what happens in the future. And you guys can check whether we are still on 519,000 subscribers. But that has been the case since the beginning of the month. So it's a ridiculous stop in the number that's happened. Anyway, we will jump into tonight's cover video, which is going to be More Than Words. And then I get the guitar ready and we'll have the jam. at the end of the live stream, because we're almost at the end of the live stream. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock! Hi guys, this is my first proper video of 2017, and it's my cover of More Than Words by Extreme, and I hope you like it. Rock!
Saying I love you, it's not the words I wanna hear from you. It's not that I want you not to say, but if you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you more than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you. Love, more than words, love. Now that I've tried to talk to you and make you understand, all you have to do is close your eyes and just reach out your hands and touch me. Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I ever needed you to show. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you.
And there we have it. That was my version of More Than Words, the Extreme classic, of course. Right, now we have the guitar out, and I think that is ready to go. Oh, why didn't I wake up this? Oh, it's woken up. Right, so now this is, I think, yeah, Phil Jan number 304. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get sound, because I wasn't getting sound at about 10:15 earlier this evening. But this is Emotive Romantic ballad guitar backing track in E jam track. That's the title. And this is from Jam It! Exclamation mark backing tracks. So we will let this play. Let me turn off that so we don't get any echo going on. Okay, I can't hear anything yet. All right. I can hear piano, which is good. This is coming through for you guys. Hopefully. Okay, see now, the red dude. He's turned up, the red dude. He wasn't here earlier. long this goes on for. Oh, wrong mouse. Okay, well, so a minute and a little bit more. Hey, and that was perfectly timed. The advert had just started and we stopped it before the advert ruined the mood at the end of that. Right, let me skip that advert before it's about to come in. So that was emotive, rocking. Oh no, it's changed. Okay, that was emotive, romantic ballad guitar backing track in E jam track, and that's from Jam It! Backing tracks. That's the name of the YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you, Joe, for sending that my way, and thank you guys. I think the thumbs up, ensuring that we had a full jam tonight. And I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. As always, that's when I release my videos, on a Sunday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, and I'm going to be live streaming on Tuesday night as well. So that's 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, always the same time for the live streams as well as the video releases. So hopefully I can see you guys then, because we'll be aiming for another fill jam and thumbs up target. So we will see where we end up there. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up tonight. And I can see that something's happened over on PayPal. Lisa W's donated £7 and 3 pence, so thank you for that. And the message is, this jam deserves an ovation. Thanks, Phil. Happy Valentine's Day. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's just a bit of a chilled out jam at the end of the live stream tonight. So yeah, and I could hear it relatively well. There weren't too many changes going on, which is always tricky trying to hear it through the laptop speakers. But yeah, hopefully we kind of got away with it. And right, I'm just going to make sure that we are up to date with everything. Okay, Diamond Girl 1234 donated $2 and says, happy Valentine's Day, Phil, great cover for today, so thank you for that. And then Tortola Pogo donated $5, thank you for that. And the message is, how many takes did you do for all the vocals in this beautiful extreme cover? So thank you for that. And there are only 2 voices, so yeah, it wouldn't have been too many takes. I think, like for the other cover videos where, like, Dokken, or I should say, like, basically Silence is Broken, Damn Yankees, the more 80s kinds of covers that I've done, Is This Love, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. You've got vocals where there are actually harmony vocals and more than one harmony lines that are, Carry On, Wayward Son, more than one harmony line that's in there. So it means you've got to do multiple vocals, kind of sometimes 2 or 3 or 4. When it gets to 3 or 4, that's obviously when it's going to take a lot longer, because you've got to do so many other takes of vocals. But I'd say it wasn't too bad for that, because with the kind of vocal delivery that it is. It's quite clean and it's not really belting at the top end of chest voice or anything like that. You can very much kind of float up, or attempt to float up to the higher notes, kind of using more of a head voice sound and not getting really weighty with it. So I don't know how many takes it took. I'd hope that it's maybe a couple of takes, or maybe I don't know, something. You never know with recording sometimes, and this is why I always try and record everything at the same time. So it means that if let's say I'm going to do record that cover video, it means that I get down, everything, even though there isn't kind of any bass or drums or anything like in the other songs, but you get down everything that you're going to be playing. You get the guitar down and try and kind of get it to sound as good as you can with the vocals as well. And I do it all at the same time. So it means that I do the lead vocal and then the harmony vocal afterwards. Sometimes I would have a break between doing the lead vocal and then the harmony vocal, but I'd do them the same night. And more often than not, I wouldn't have a break from it, because you want to record your vocals, or at least I find this is the way that I do it, record your vocals at the same time, so that everything about the room and the amount of moisture in the air, all these different things, they are the same. So it means that when you listen to them back, you can then hear that it's the same vocal in the same place. If you do it on another, people who record at home will know what I'm talking about. For some reason, you can record a vocal on another night and it sounds like it's in a different place. It's not quite sitting with the vocal that you did before. So this is why, do it all at the same time, because I learned that lesson where I can't remember which video it is, but I recorded like one of the choruses I had to do another time. It's usually the case that somebody rings the doorbell and you think, oh, hang on, is that the time? I've got to go and teach somebody guitar. So you go away and then you come back, record the vocal that you didn't manage to get to, and then that vocal sounds different in the mix. So you think, well, how can I get around this? It's an absolute nightmare. So the only option is, in order to get it to sound all the same, you might have to copy and paste another chorus, because the chorus that now doesn't sit in there, it's really kind of weird and annoying how that happens. But that is, sometimes you'll just get something that's just not working. But I think in terms of the More Than Words video, that was relatively straightforward, I like to say. Kind of remembering or thinking, well, it shouldn't take too long. But all the joys of production, because sometimes you can perform everything perfectly and then there's still something that is in the mix that is not making sense, and no matter how you try and EQ the vocal, you just can't get it in that same place as that original vocal. There's just something different about it, which there's nothing to do with performing or singing. It's now about production and just unique qualities of vocals that are recorded. But anyway, Angela's donated $10, so thank you for that. And the message is for the tip jar, thanks, with a smiley face. So, right, now we are going to call things to a close. I started blabbering on there about production things in the studio. But I will see you at tomorrow night's video, and I'm going to be here with another live stream, of course, on Tuesday night. So if you could join me then, that would be great. And if you can join me at the live stream next week as well, which is going to be another Saturday, we're always aiming to hit these thumbs up targets, because at some point it's going to start getting quite close. I think we made it by quite a lot here, but the total, or at least what we're aiming for, always goes up. So if we can make it week on week, I'll be here every week, every Saturday and every Tuesday. So it'd be great if you guys could join me as well. Anyway, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys at the video tomorrow night, and I'll see you then. Rock!